Joining us live is Liberal MP and member for Fisher, Andrew Wallace. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us. Can you just, first of all, describe how things are where you are and what it's like at the moment?
Well, Janie, I'm down at the coast at the front of the Caloundra Powerboat Club. The local council has done a terrific job in installing very large sandbags out the front, so kudos to them. The community has been working really hard down here at Golden Beach and in fact across the southern part of the Sunshine Coast to get ready. We're in a particularly precarious situation down here with the breakthrough of the Bribie Island. We're in a situation where the protection that Bribie Island has afforded Golden Beach and Caloundra residents in the past is really not going to be there this time around. So there's a lot of nervous people in Golden Beach, and a lot of sandbags have been prepared and distributed by SES and volunteers. And
you mentioned the sandbags. We heard yesterday that people were having to line up for hours in their cars and so forth. Are you satisfied that there is enough, and not only sandbags but preparation, and you know there's a lot of closed shops and schools and the like, but where you are you satisfied with the preparation?
Yeah, look, I've been working on the sandbag line the last few days, last 3 or 4 days. It's really important for residents to muck in and get their hands dirty and fill up sandbags while they're loading their cars. The SES are doing a great job, but they are absolutely spent. It's hard work, very hard work. And I'd encourage residents, when they do come to the sandbag filling stations, to do whatever they can, donate a couple of hours' time, help out. The more hands work, then it'll mean the cars can move quicker and people can get their sandbags quicker and get home and start preparing their properties.
We're hearing it's going to be a trifecta in terms of the coastal erosion, the wild winds, the flooding, not only the flash flooding with huge amounts of rain falling in a short space of time, but the riverine flooding. So all systems go with this particular cyclone by the looks of it. What are you seeing in your area? Just looking at the forecast from the Bureau, we're looking at around 50 millimetres potentially each day. Of course, that could easily change. The forecast is changing quite constantly, as we do expect with cyclones. But give us an indication of what you're anticipating as the cyclone makes landfall, which at this stage is going to be during Friday.
Janie, I think one of the biggest problems we've got is avoiding complacency. The last couple of days have actually been quite sunny weather, interspersed with some rain showers. So my message to Sunshine Coast locals and anybody living in southeast Queensland is that this event is going to happen. It doesn't matter whether it lands in Brisbane or whether it's north of Brisbane or south of Brisbane. Anywhere between Maroochydore or even further north and right down to the Tweed, they're going to be impacted by heavy, strong winds and very heavy rain. The Bureau is trying to keep up to date with their forecasting, but the reality is we are going to have, it's a very slow-moving cyclone. So what that means is that it's going to hang around for a lot longer, unfortunately, which means a lot more rain will be dumped on coastal areas, in southeast Queensland, and that's not good news. We already had a very wet December and January, so we don't. Not that we've got anything to do any say in it, but the reality is this cyclone's very slow. It's going to dump a lot of rain, and that's going to create a lot of problems, not just for the coastal areas, but also in the hinterland as well.
Yes, absolutely. And as you mentioned, the timing of that cyclone and the updates, there will be another update at the top of the hour. But we saw it change from last night. It was going to be making landfall sometime Friday night into Saturday. At this stage, it's during Friday, so it could change again. But the main thing is, of course, as we're all saying, is to not be complacent and to certainly watch out for this dangerous system. We've just seen Treasurer Jim Chalmers talking about the potential for the damage to be in the billions of dollars. Again, we're not sure as yet, but by the looks of it, it's already causing damage. What are your main concerns where you are in terms of the damage bill and, of course, insurance and many people already suffering with financial difficulty?
Well, there's no doubt, Janie, that we've been living through a cost of living crisis for the last few years, and people are doing it really tough. And sadly, people have either underinsured or just can't afford to eat and pay insurance at the same time. So they've dropped their insurance, and that is a cause of great concern. But my concern really is particularly for this area where I am down here now at Golden Beach. As I said, without the protection of bribery, there's going to be a lot of storm surge that people would otherwise have had the protection from the Bribie Island that they will not enjoy this time around. So I'm relatively confident with the amount of work the SES and volunteers have done down here that people are as prepared as they can be. If people still feel like they need more help and they're sick or infirmed and can't get down to any of the sandbag filling stations, they should call 132 500, which is the SES number, and they'll be able to prioritise jobs. Of course, if it's a life-threatening situation, then people should call 000.
All right, yes, well said. And of course, we do know that there are a number of people sleeping rough and a lot of holiday makers as well. So a lot of support out there for many people. And you mentioned those numbers and the hazards near me up. There's certainly a lot of information online and, of course, at various locations and the police, the ADF, you name it. It sounds like very well prepared. But thank you so much, Andrew Wallace. Take care and stay safe.
Authorised by Andrew Wallace, LNP, Boccarina, Queensland.